Welcome to the episode 22 of the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint with your host, Lolita Guarin. I'm a stress management coach for those who don't know, and I do a lot of coaching and speaking and online programs and all of that jazz. So if you're interested in finding out what I do more or booking a session with me, please go to my website, beamazingyou.com. All right, let's talk about another micro stressor. I know I'm still on micro stressors. Well, something that is very important to us and it can cause us a lot of stress. It is disruption in our network of people. So we do belong to groups. It's very hard just to live by yourself. If you have a family, if you have friends, if you have a workplace that you need to go to and see other people, that's your network. You depend on that. Um, Maybe not financially and physically, but mentally for sure. I think one of the human needs is to be connected to other people. And as we know, when you are feeling isolated, that is not just stressful, it's deadly. Um, I think a lot of addictions these days happen because people are so in pain and feeling isolated and feeling that nobody sees them, that they cannot take that pain anymore, and then they become addicts because it's just easier to take a drug and just feel happy at the moment. That's just my little opinion about this. Okay, network disruptions. So what happens? Let's say in the workplace, you're working on the projects and you have a coworker who quits or they got fired, or I don't know, they win a lottery and they don't need to work anymore, or they get married, or they move. And then suddenly you left with what happened, meaning you're probably going to have more time, now have to spend on the tasks as well. And I addressed in other episodes about the kind of micro stressors that can happen when you lose a coworker or a team member. So you're welcome to go listen to those. Um, So why am I still talking about this? It is when we don't know what's going to happen in the future, when we cannot control things, that is stressing us out. So let's say the coworker quit and they're not there. And the worst thing happens when you have no idea that they will be not there tomorrow. And you're expecting them to show up. You are expecting them to do the part of the project. And if let's say they have to do something and then you need to take whatever they did and continue working on that. Let's say they did some calculations that for a report that you need to do, and now they're not there. Now you need to figure out who's going to do these calculations. I mean, it's very good if there's something that you can do, but it's very stressful, right? Because now you have to do the job and then you have to do your job and you're probably going to work overtime, you're going to be stressed out, burnout. You're probably going to make some errors. You probably need to go back and spend more time on that because, well, guess what? You didn't do it the right first time. So there's a lot of stress going on when somebody just kind of falls off the grid. Of course, if you work somewhere that your supervisor is very organized and they maybe were foreseeing this and they already have a plan and they're like, hey, don't worry about it, we already have another person starting next week. That's great. That's great. But what if it doesn't? So you could be still thinking, going to work and thinking, okay, who's gonna do this task and who's gonna do this and how they're gonna reorganize that? um how do you prepare? How do you prepare with things that you don't know? By expecting the worst. And I already mentioned this before in my previous podcast. The one way how you can help yourself to deal with the future that might be stressful is when you prepare yourself how you're going to react when that happens and if that happens. So in this specific situation, what I'm asking you to do now to prepare yourself for the future that hopefully will never happen. But if make a list of projects that you're working on. And you could be like, well, I don't really have any projects to do. That's fine. Then write it down the tasks. Tasks that you do every day, and it's sometimes difficult to know what you're going to do that day because, well, something just happens unexpectedly. What are your tasks? Identify what they are. And then ask yourself, can I function if people around me don't show up to work? Ask yourself. I would recommend you do the same thing if you, let's say, are married, and let's say your spouse disappears next day. God forbids dies, but let's just say, I don't know, something good happened to them, okay? That means that you now have to take care of all the household. You need to take care of all the bills and all the other stuff. Do you know how? I had a client who was a businesswoman, and she had a partner, and they were business partners, but they also were lifetime partners. They lived together. They never married, but they just enjoyed this life together. For they were traveling and doing all those things. Um, and one day she heard this story from somebody else that somebody just died in an accident, and she realized that, wait a minute, I trust my partner that he's going to do all the business things. He's very good with clients. He has everything organized. This is great. But what's going to happen if he's gone? One day he's gone. What's going to happen? She doesn't even know who she needs to call. She has no list of clients. She has no idea even the utilities, what she needs to do. So prepare yourself ahead. Write all of those tasks that you need to do. Where they're coming from, where they need to go, who you're going to call, who can help you if that person is gone. So you just prepare yourself and use this, as a plan B or plan F or whatever it is. It's just like emergency. But what it does when you prepare yourself for this, it's already helps your brain to be more in peace because it knows you're prepared. It knows it can control the future, although you cannot control the future. But like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So when that happens, if it ever happens, I hope it will never happen. You will know how to react. You'll be less stressed out because you already have all the plan laid out in front of you. So I hope that was helpful. We sometimes don't want to think about, especially people gone from our lives, but that happens. And it could be just a simple task that you need to do, but it could be something very significant in your life. And the best thing is to really prepare. When you prepare, then it's much easier not only for you, but even the other people around it. Because when you are strong and you take care of yourself, then you can take care of those around you. And I believe that when you help yourself, you help others, and that other can help the other. And that's how you can change the world. Yeah, I believe that. Okay, getting melodramatic here a little bit, but so yeah, buy my books, sign up for my coaching. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel. I don't know, just shoot me a comment and tell me, you watching those videos? Are they helpful? Do you have any questions that you want me to answer or specifically talk about some situation? So let me know, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.